are back. It's been a while. Maybe it hasn't. Who knows? But we're back. And I'm looking at today, highest and lowest, a Java exercise from our friends at Codewars. Absolutely. So in this assignment, you're given a string of space-separated numbers, and you got to return the highest and lowest number. So looking at the samples here, we have method name and we have a string with space separated numbers, and we must return the highest and lowest where it'll be in string form, highest space lowest. Notice here the input is in string form and there's numbers in there, and we're going to return it in string form with numbers in it. So somewhere in that process we got to convert these to integers so you can evaluate them as numbers, because the idea is to return the highest and lowest. How do you determine that in string form? Yeah, you can totally do that in a way, like with the ASCII conversion and all that, but not going to mess with that. Going to instead use turn them into integers and do it that way. I know there's a text way to do it, but blah blah blah, not going to do that. I've already got my method together, so you guys can do other stuff on your own. It is a free country, at least today, and the one that I'm in. I understand that other people may be watching from other countries, but hey, whatever. Let me get this thing started. So over here in our training area, the editor area, I'm going to throw up some variables. I'm going to make integer variables for the highest and lowest because I'm going to store them in there and then I'm going to return them as strings later on. So I'm going to create some variables for highest and lowest. And what do I make these equal to? Well, I'm going to do the classic find minimum or maximum of a data structure algorithm. So when you do this algorithm, if you're trying to find the max, you set it to a very low number, and when you're trying to find the min, you set it to a very high number. In Java, we have these constants in the integer wrapper class called min value and max value. So I'm going to set highest to integer min value. I'm going to set lowest to integer max value. And the idea being that, so let's take lowest for instance. If I'm trying to find the lowest of the lowest value in a data structure, if I can speak, I make this variable the highest it could possibly be, and then as I go through the structure item by item, I compare the lowest variable, the contents of it, I compare it to each number. If that number is less than my current lowest, I will assume it. So like as you go through here, if you compare lowest, which is right now the highest possible value, if I compare it to 1, is 1 less than the maximum possible value in Java? It totally is. So lowest will assume it, and the lowest will be 1. Then I go to 9. So lowest is 1 right now. If I compare 1 to 9, 9 is not lower, so it's not. So then I go to 3. Is 3 lower than 1? It's not. Is 4 lower than 1? No. -5 lower than 1? It is. So then lowest would be 5. And you go through all of them sequentially and you find the lowest. So there's a little kind of quick brush up on this algorithm. And yeah, I'm going through it pretty quickly and not showing you any visuals, but if you got that, you got that. Maybe you know it already, but you're going to also see it in code. So I'll keep it moving. Okay. So I'm going to create a string for my final output. I'll call it final string and make it equal to an empty string. And then when you look at this input right here, it is going to be numbers separated by spaces. So because it's going to be numbers separated by spaces, it is an ideal thing for splitting. My method here is I'm going to take this string, split it by spaces, so I can access each number by itself, and then I can compare it to highest and lowest to, find the highest and lowest. And I know I'm glossing over stuff because this is kind of a quick video. And so, get over here. Numbers.split. Yeah, so the string here is going to be called, or is called numbers. And I'm going to use the split function, or method actually in Java. I forgot that. Yeah, these are methods in Java. I am going to split the string into an array of strings. And then I'm going to go through that array of strings one by one and find the maximum and minimum values. And I am going to loop to do so. So I think I already said loop, but here's a loop. It'll be length without parentheses because it is an array. All right, so in here, I'm looping through the array of strings, and these are numeric strings. For each one of these, I'm going to make them an integer, and then I'm going to compare them to highest and lowest to see if they are the highest or lowest. So I'm going to create an integer. I'll call it temp and or TMP. I'm going to convert it to an integer. Parse int. There's a few ways to convert to integer in Java, or Java as the Rastafarians call it. Alright, so now I've got it as an integer. Temp is integer representation of one of these values. I'm going to compare this value to the highest and lowest and see if it's greater than or less than, depending on which one I am comparing it to. So, if it's greater than highest, highest will become it. It will assume it. And I can sort of copy this a little bit, even though the variable names aren't the same. I could say if it's less than lowest, then lowest equals it. Yeah. See, a little run through is turn it to an integer, and if that integer is higher than my current highest value, my current highest value is going to be it. If it is less than my lowest value, then my lowest value is going to be it. This algorithm is all about assuming. It's like if you find something closer to what, or if you find something less than or greater than the highest or lowest, it assumes it. That is a terrible run through, but maybe you guys can pick it up a little bit here. All right, so having gone through here, when the loop is done, the highest value is going to be in the variable highest, and the lowest value is going to be in the variable lowest. So what I can do then is return a string representation of these two, just like you see over here, or the highest and lowest. I'm gonna do that. Code right here. So these highest and lowest are integers right now. So I'm going to change them to strings. It'll be highest, and then concatenation. So yeah, it's supposed to be highest space lowest. So I'm going to do that right now. And I think that is my return set up, and looks okay. Looks like I cannot expand this, so I'll kind of scooch it together so it can be seen in one piece here. I think this does it. So I will test it out. Looks like it does, and I'll clear up my drawings. Test passes. Let's look at attempt. Alrighty. I'll allow the oxen free. That's good. We got this. So there's the completion of the highest and lowest in Java from Codewars. I enjoyed it. I hope you did. And that's it for me. Gotta bail out. Gotta pay some bills. So I am out.